How's it going, guys? So this is a very high yield question for pediatrics. Challenging question, all right, because there is overlap in how these conditions can present. And I am just going to cut to the fucking chase and tell you what you need to know, all right? So before we get started, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And find me on Instagram at Melman_medical, MEHL_medical. Link is down below. Find us on Telegram. Recently created a Telegram group and channel. Links are down below. Now, starting the actual fucking question here, where we've got this girl with a BMI of 29. Okay, it's elevated, 25 greater elevated, and she's got abnormal menses. So the combination of high BMI with abnormal menses means anovulation / polycystic ovarian syndrome. Could be a very lengthy discussion as far as the mechanisms. Of course, we've got high BMI implies insulin resistance, which can cause abnormal GnRH pulsation and elevated LH to FSH ratio. Luteinizing hormone normally stimulates the theca interna cells to produce androgens, which is why we have hirsutism in this case. The decreased FSH compared to what it should be is why the follicles are not adequately caught up developmentally by the time the LH spike triggers ovulation. So rather than getting a Graafian follicle that ruptures, we get a follicle that is retained as a cyst, okay? That's your polycystic ovarian syndrome. So this girl has anovulation / PCOS. She's got hyperpigmented velvety lesions on the neck. That's your acanthosis nigricans. It just signifies insulin resistance. Now, let's just look at our answers here. Cushing syndrome. It's the wrong fucking answer, but it's not so outrageous, okay? I mean, I have seen questions. Like, there are questions on 2CK material where you will see acanthosis nigricans and abnormal periods, and the answer is Cushing. And you say, well, I don't get it then. Why would it not be the case here? Like, why couldn't this be Cushing? It's because they mention this very important positive finding of increased urinary frequency over the past 5 months. I mean, that is diabetes mellitus. Okay, that's what diabetes means. Okay, polyuria, like diabetes insipidus, unrelated. I mean, increased urination, right? So it's this finding, the increased urination, that tells you this is diabetes mellitus. Very fucking unusual because you say, but wait, seriously? Like in a 16-year-old? Yeah, you can. Okay, it's 17 on the NBME. You'll see if you do the pediatrics forms, you'll see like, for example, even Hashimoto in a 14-year-old, okay? Like you'll see these things can occur young. So it's the increased urination in the setting of insulin resistance that tells you this is diabetes type 2. Especially in America, this is an issue. Cushing syndrome, as I said, it's not outrageous. It's a reasonable possibility. It's just the urination makes diabetes more likely. Hypothyroidism can cause menstrual irregularity, absolutely. But they like giving you other important findings such as bradycardia between 55 and 60. They like giving you dysthymia / depression. You could get myopathy, okay, proximal muscle weakness with increased CK. You can get transaminitis, increased ALT, AST. So you can get in addition to constipation, cold intolerance, etc. Okay, the answer is not fucking hypothyroidism. The point is you can get irregularities with the menstruation in thyroid dysfunction. Pregnancy, wrong fucking answer. I mean, look, I said right here she's not sexually active. Some students might opine. They'll be like, oh, but like, maybe kids aren't forthright. Maybe they aren't honest with the doctor. Maybe they are sexually active. Look, it's just not the answer here. Okay, I think you could be aware somewhat peripherally that there is a question on a 2CK NBME where they give a 13-year-old who's never had a menstrual period before, and the answer is pregnancy, okay? And they literally describe like suprapubic like distension and nausea and vomiting, but you can get pregnancy in pediatrics before the first menstruation in very young children who are sexually active, okay? But it's not the answer here. Urinary tract infection, I mean, it can cause increased urination, can present similarly to urge incontinence. It doesn't explain the abnormal menses, okay? It's not the best answer here. So look, as I said, there is some overlap with these diagnoses. These types of questions can be challenging. And I think rather than having to establish set rules per se, it's more or less just having a broad understanding of how these present and then using your best intuition to extrapolate and deduce what they want. How about I just end this fucking clip? How does that sound? So you know the deal. I'm going to continue making more content. If you like my stuff, subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate your time. That's it.